What is up, guys? Welcome back. I'm Kevin Crates. This is the channel where we go over a bit of crypto news and 5 charts every day. Today we'll be looking at Bitcoin, Ethereum, AXS, Harmony One, and SNX. And as always, if you're just here for a specific chart, timestamps are down in the description below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn that bell on to get notifications for all daily uploads. Bit of a wild 24 hours, guys. Bitcoin dipping down into the mid 31,000s and bouncing back hard towards 33K. Ethereum still hanging around that $2,000 price range, but overall the market is still looking rough, and that is what we'll be keeping our focus on when looking at the charts later on in the video. Not much to shout out on our overview here this morning except Axie Infinity. We've been following that here all week long, still just on a monster run pushing towards $23. And if you're not new here, you know I'm extremely bullish on all things NFT. And if you're not following me on Twitter, I tweeted about DPET midday yesterday when it was around $2.30, saying it is looking ready for a breakout. It hit a high of $5.80 on a bit of a pullback, but still up 150% in 24 hours. We're going to be doing a deep dive into DPET and so many different NFT projects that I'm extremely bullish on. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and turn that bell on so you don't miss those videos. We have some massive news for Ethereum today. Ethereum ETF to list on Brazil's stock exchange. If we jump over to this article, Ethereum ETF approved in Brazil increases chances for Ethereum price to jump. QR Asset Management was quoted saying the Brazilian investor now has the possibility of exposure to 2 largest and most valuable digital assets in the world in a regulated, simple, and secure manner. It is no longer necessary to register on exchanges, create private keys, or worry about secure custody since the fund has institutional level custody in deep cold storage provided by Gemini. And I've always said on the topic of South American countries adopting cryptocurrencies as legal tender goes, once Brazil starts to get more involved, that's when things could get crazy. So this was not only huge for Ethereum today, this was huge for the entire crypto space, and we will be keeping a very close eye on all cryptocurrency news coming out of Brazil. We had FTX in the news again. Billionaire SBF says FTX may one day buy Goldman Sachs and CME. FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried has said that acquiring Goldman Sachs and CME is not out of the question if the exchange beats competition from Binance and Coinbase. The article touched on some of the huge moves FTX has made. FTX acquired Blockfolio for $150 million back in August 2020. And in March 2021, the exchange secured 19 naming rights to Miami Heat's home stadium worth $135 million. Cointelegraph also reported last month that the exchange sealed naming rights worth $210 million for the global esports brand Team Solo Mid, with the team changing their name to TSM FTX. On June 24th, the platform also announced that it has partnered with the MLB to be the Pro Baseball League's official crypto sponsor. And lastly, the article did touch on Binance. Despite the regulatory scrutiny aimed at Binance, the exchange still towers over its competitors with 24-hour spot volume totaling $10.6 billion. And in my opinion, Binance will always be number one in the game. Between PancakeSwap, the Binance Smart Chain, and everything that Binance owns, they are just so far ahead of the competition. However, with more regulations rolling out and FTX making such big moves on the regular, it will be interesting to see how this all plays out. We had Phantom Wallet making headlines today with Phantom raises $9 million for its mainstream multi-chain crypto wallet. And if you're not familiar with the Phantom Wallet, it is similar to MetaMask, but it is mainly used for the Solana network at the moment. The article quotes, at launch, Phantom is offering multi-chain, staking, ledger, and NFT support. Phantom also integrated with FTX Pay recently, allowing users to easily transfer currencies such as SOL, USDC, and USDT directly from FTX. Later this year, Phantom will be releasing its mobile applications for iOS and Android and will be adding new features, including Ethereum and Ethereum Layer 2 support, bridges between chains, Ethereum and Sol staking, and fiat on-ramp via MoonPay. If you're not sure what all that is, Phantom says it will take care of it for you so you don't have to figure it out. And if you guys know anything about me, you know that I'm bullish on Ethereum, Solana, FTX, Layer 2 solutions, and all things NFTs. And this wallet claims to have all of that, so I am very excited to see the progress with Phantom Wallet. And staying on the topic of Ethereum, Ethereum's top decentralized exchange just got faster. Uniswap launches on Optimism. According to a Wednesday announcement, Uniswap launched a public alpha version of its exchange on the Ethereum scalability solution, Optimism. And if you're not familiar with Optimism, we've spoken about Optimism on this channel before in regards to SNX going live on their layer 2 solution. Optimism is basically just an Ethereum layer 2 solution similar to Matic that is going to help relieve congestion, lower gas fees, and overall this is very bullish for Ethereum as more and more of these layer 2 solutions keep rolling out. Taking a look at Bitcoin's daily chart here was actually very interesting yesterday, guys. When the Bitcoin dipped into the low 31,000s, this RSI had actually become invalidated. But with that bounce, it has now gotten right back up onto that uptrend. So it is not invalidated just yet. However, my price targets for Ethereum are still low. I still think we have a few days left until there is a bit of a crash. Stochastic RSI on the daily is low, but if we go to the 4-hour, it is high. And on the 1-hour, it is also high, which leads me to believe that prices will most likely consolidate somewhere within this range here around 32 to 33 before testing these lower supports. Let's just jump to the Ichimoku chart for a sec. Looking at Bitcoin's daily chart here, we see there's still a lot of resistance in this area, 34, 35. I don't even think it will get that high up. If we go to the 4-hour chart, you get more of a clear picture. Let's turn my notes on from the other day. So you can see it's running into resistance up against the Kumo cloud. I don't think it'll be able to punch through. If it does, it may come to these price targets around 34 and press up, but I'm pretty doubtful of that considering the state of the market. My price targets for Bitcoin are still down here around 30K. I think it'll be rejected around here. It may even get rejected around a high of 34, but I believe it'll start to work its way down towards 33, and depending on how that works out, I think 28 is very possible in the coming week for Bitcoin. However, for the time being, my price target is still around 30K. Looking at Ethereum's daily chart here, it is moving exactly how we assumed. It hit our first price target of just under 2,000, which has now become resistance. I'd imagine it'll start to work its way down to around 1,700 unless something changes with Bitcoin. Its stochastic RSI is still low on the daily, but if we come to the 4-hour, it is high, just like Bitcoin. And I'm assuming the hourly as well. Yeah, the hourly is high as well. So that leads me to believe that it's going to, let me just turn all these notes off. It's going to continue to consolidate. Let's go back to the daily, kind of in this range around the 200 EMA. But my price targets for Ethereum are still on the lower end. I'd imagine 1,700 is going to get hit first as Bitcoin starts to dip down. Let's take a quick look at the Ichimoku chart. And look at Ethereum on the daily. Let's turn our notes on from before. Yeah, it's pretty much, let's jump to the 4-hour chart. It's pretty much moving exactly as we assumed. There's just really not much else for me to say about Ethereum if you guys want to watch old videos if you missed it, but you can see right here it's running into resistance. Sorry about all these notes, guys. It's running into resistance right on this line right here where we put our original support, which is the 200 EMA, which was our first target, which is now resistance. If it can't reclaim this area just above 2,000, it's going to work its way down to 1,700. So my price target for Ethereum remains where it's been in the low 1,700s. Looking at AXS's 4-hour chart. Now, I've been following this all week, guys. This looks unreal. It just keeps on going. This uptrend is insane. Let's just jump over to the Ichimoku cloud. But in terms of pullbacks, I think this could keep going till about 25. But let's just check with the Ichimoku chart real quick. Looking at the daily chart, the stochastic RSI is high, but it's got room to pump. But if you look here on the RSI, it looks like it's going to be capped out soon. So I imagine this pump is coming to an end temporarily. It might get to about maybe mid-24s, 25, and start to work its way down. How hard the sell-off is hard to say. I'd kind of look at that 22 range as a first price target. I don't know why this keeps popping up here. Sorry, guys. Let me just move that out of the way. 22 would be my first price target, maybe 21. In an extreme scenario, the conversion line will come up and it might land on this price target around here. 18 to 20 is always possible too. But if you look at the 4-hour, this is still a very healthy looking chart. It's going to be capped out sooner or later in terms of the RSI, and this is going to have to come back down, but it may just consolidate in these higher price ranges. So as far as this goes in terms of price targets, maybe 22, 21. On the extreme end, I'd watch out for 18. But AXS is a very dominant player right now, and this may keep pumping. So we're going to keep a close eye on it, guys. Harmony One's daily chart. Let's turn all these notes off. You can see here that it's above the 200 EMA, and if I turn these notes back on, you can see that the RSI is also shot up into uptrend zone, which is interesting. It looks like it's starting to struggle on that 200 EMA now, and it's getting kind of capped out around 8.5. These candles are still bullish. You can see the indecision in between the wicks on both sides. Stochastic RSI is high on the daily, and if you look at the 4-hour, it is low, but it's curving bearish. And if you look at the 1-hour, it is also high and coming down. So it looks like prices for Harmony One are going to trend back down. It did have a good few days there though, but in terms of price action, unless there's something to keep pumping this, and Bitcoin starts to dip, it will most likely work its way back down. It did reach a high of 9 cents. If it can get above 8 cents, build support there, it could always push towards 10 cents. But in the way that the market is, that's most likely not going to happen. I'd imagine prices are going to work its way down to some of these higher price targets. I was looking at these before, but considering how much it's pushed up now, I'd imagine 6 cents is where it may land on an extreme crash. You can see here it kind of wicked below down to around 4 cents, but somewhere between 4 to 6 cents, maybe 5 during a big crash. Let's take a quick look at the Ichimoku chart. And looking at the daily chart, we can see that this pump is most likely temporarily over. It is running to a lot of resistance around the Kumo cloud. It's trying to build support on the conversion line and has a bit of support there, but it's most likely going to work its way down to that price target of 6.9 around the baseline. And if we take a look at the 4 hour, it's already in the Kumo cloud, so it is most likely already working its way down towards that price target. However, in the event of a Bitcoin crash, I'd be looking more around here, somewhere between 5 to 6 cents, I think would be a decent entry for Harmony One as long as things don't get too crazy. But my price targets for Harmony One would be closer to 5 cents. But in the short term, I'd imagine this is going to get hit soon. So price targets between 5 to 6 cents for Harmony One. Looking at the SNX daily chart now, you see that it was rejected at the 200 EMA, but if we jump over to the 4 hour, you see that it is finding support along that 200 EMA. If we turn my notes back on from the other day, I still think these higher price targets are possible, at least 15 for SNX in the mid to short term. Let's take a quick look at the Ichimoku cloud. Looking at the daily, we see that it did try to push into the Kumo cloud, but it ran into a bit of resistance with that long wick and started to push back down in price. It looks like it may be headed back towards 9.5. Stochastic RSI also high, and if we look at the 4 hour, stochastic RSI is low. What about the 1 hour? 1 hour stochastic RSI is high, so it may find some level of support in this range. Let's turn my notes back on from the other day. I still think these higher price targets for SNX is possible in the next week or so, but as long as Bitcoin is dipping and the market is shaky, these lower price targets might be hit. So I'd keep my eye out, especially on this 195. SNX might pull back there. In an extreme case, if there is a crash, I'd kind of watch out for 8.5. But overall, my price targets for SNX are still higher in the coming weeks with the optimism rollout. But for the time being, I just kind of keep my eye out for these price targets of 9.5 to 8.5. All right, folks, thanks for hanging out. If there's any charts you want me to look at in the future, leave it down in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, turn that bell on so you get those notifications. If you're not following me on Twitter, KevinCrates_, I'm extremely active on there. Anytime you tweet at me, I will always tweet back at you. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm out.